Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Caden's Take. My name is Caden and I know what you're thinking. Look, I'm in a desk and you can see my face. I'm going to try and do this from now on. If you guys like it, then I'll keep doing it. If not, then I'll switch back to the old way, where it's just a screen with some pictures. So, today's video, I'm deciding to discuss a topic that I know lots of people ask me, which is, Caden, why don't you like Mike Trout and Fernando Tatis? I almost said Francisco Lindor, but it's Fernando Tatis. Basically, I'm gonna answer it with one word, and you're gonna be very confused. The MLB. Now I'll give you the explanation. The MLB, in my opinion, ruins the reputations of Tatis and Trout. Let's talk about Trout for a second. So Mike Trout, we all know he was a great young kid, but when he joined as a rookie, he was a great player, but he wasn't the best to be in the game. So why is he looked at as the best? I see lists like the MLB last year or earlier this year when they made a list of all the MVPs. They ranked every MVP win from best to worst, combining NL and AL, and they had Mike Trout's wins the top 10, which, probably a little bit exaggerating, but I wasn't as mad about that. What I was upset about was the fact that they put Miguel Cabrera's 2012 win in the bottom third. The guy kind of won Triple Crown. That's only happened 8 or 9 other times besides his own. It's one of the greatest milestones in baseball. That's something that's almost never achieved, and you gave him no respect. Why? And in all these, they say the MVP, the year, and the description. And in the description for this 2012 was, it should have been Mike Trout. What do you mean, MLB, that it should have been Mike Trout? Literally, Miguel Cabrera had a Triple Crown winning season, and you said Mike Trout had a better year. Just don't look at me. I mean, people are like, Mike Trout is a guaranteed lock for the Hall of Fame. Miguel Cabrera, Albert Pujols. I mean, maybe, but nowhere near the level of Mike Trout. Mike Trout hasn't even played half the years that Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols have played. He hasn't yet put up half the stats that Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols has put up. Sure, he's projected to be greater than those. I understand that and I see that. But at the same time, the MLB values him a year above everybody else. They put everybody else on one level and they shoot him to the moon. And it's insane, and it's so annoying to look every year just how highly and I understand he deserves to be praised as the best player in the MLB right now. He is the best player in the MLB right now, but at the same time, it's so hard to get the grip of the fact that they will go out and they're like, well, 2012, he was the best player. No, he wasn't. Miguel Cabrera had a better season. Well, yeah, but Mike Trout should have won the MVP. No, he shouldn't have. Miguel Cabrera had the best season. The MLB is just like a fanboy of Mike Trout, and they won't let up, and they won't even listen to it's like they won't even listen to the argument like they're a little kid. No, Mike Trout's the greatest of all time. No one's ever been on his level. Well, maybe, but at the same time, he hasn't had the stats to prove that he's the greatest of all time. Is he on track? Yes. Is he the best player right now? Yes. But why I don't like him is because the MLB just shoots him above everybody else and values him on a completely different spectrum. The only player near that spectrum is Fernando Tatis Jr. I'm sorry, but it's the same thing that I'm watching about to happen is Mike Trout's turning into second place for the MLB, and Fernando Tatis Jr. is becoming first. When Tatis got the cover for the show 21, their Twitter had 50 tweets about him getting the cover. It's insane. Not one tweet about RBI getting Tim Anderson, and I understand RBI is not as big of a game, and I understand that Tim Anderson might not be a better player, but at the same time, RBI is still owned by the MLB. The MLB should still go out and say, congratulations, Tim Anderson, on getting the cover for RBI Baseball. Yet they didn't give him one tweet, and they gave Fernando Tatis 50. And I'm sorry, it's so hard to comprehend how They're literally the MLB. They are in charge of the league of all players. Yet they put Tatis and Trout on a level and a scale that no one else has been able to touch. Nobody else else was on Trout's scale or be able to touch Trout's scale until Tatis. But like, they don't treat their players equally, as we can see by the fact that they're just putting Trout and Tatis on just the thrones in the sky, and they're putting everybody else in whatever else is left. Is what it feels like and looks like, and I just don't respect that reputation. Now, let's be real here. If it was Jose Abreu that they were doing this to, would I have less? Would I be more appreciative of it? Yes, but that's also because of the fact that the MLB always undervalues the White Sox. Tim Anderson is number 27 on the MLB top 100 players, but Abreu's 31. Well, guess who's number 17 or 16? Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman, a cheater, should not be at 15 if Anderson and Abreu are at 27 and 31. It's like Lucas Giolito was number 69, haha, but there was like 10 other pitchers in front of him that you could easily make the case that a pitcher with a no-hitter, a pitcher with better stats, and a younger pitcher should be above in Lucas Giolito. And so, and they even undervalue them in their rankings. They projected them this year to be third in the AL Central at an 83 and 79 record. That's decent, but that's not a playoff team. Then they put them at for the playoff percentage 80 or 60%, like one point or 0.2 behind. It's like somewhere like very, very close with the Twins, and like that I understand. I understand that you can't make a big gap between the Twins and the White Sox, but then why, when you made the standings, did you put such a big gap between the Twins and the White Sox? Because you said the Twins are going to be like 91 and whatever, and the White Sox are going to be 83 and 79. I mean, that number sits in my head just because it's insane. And same with the Braves. They put the Braves at 82 and 80. Braves are not going 82 and 80, especially after signing Jake Lamb last night. That is a huge late pickup that I was not going to talk about, but I decided to just throw that in there. He is also going to make a big difference for the Braves. Going back to my point, just showing how the MLB is just not, like, they don't, like, and literally the Padres, they say, have a 96% chance of making the playoffs, will be at 103 winning team season. Okay, but is Manny Machado the 18th best player in the MLB? No. Is Tatis the 4th or 5th? I'll say fine. I'll understand if you say that. But at the same, I think they put him at 6. But at the same time, they treat him as number 2, close number 2 behind number 1 Mike Trout. So the reason that I don't really like to show my respect for Trout and Tatis is just because, in my opinion, the MLB has just diminished their reputation and how much reputation and value they deserve. Thank you very much for watching today's episode of Caden's Take. I hope I answered your questions about why I don't like those two players. And it's not that I don't think they're good baseball players, it's just that I can't respect them after how the MLB treats them. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.